Hey everybody, so I got my day off today, so let's do some videos, let's do some fun stuff. Let's talk about this guy, the Sig MCX Spear, the new XM7 for the United States military. 2 months later, just about, I bought this on July 3rd, it's August 28th currently, so it's practically 2 months for me. How do I feel about this guy? I still freaking love it. This is a really cool rifle. So we're just gonna do a video, recap some of the things at least I've learned about how to make the Sig Spear a little bit more pleasant to shoot, and also I don't know, just my general thoughts. I guess we're just gonna ramble. So first and foremost, this is the 16-inch model with the 16-inch barreled model, full 12-inch handguard and stuff like that. I traded both my Hellion and my Desert Tech MDR for this guy, and believe me, it was worth every penny that I paid for this. I paid just about $4,300 for this from a local big box store. So that is that is an outrageous number. Don't kid yourself. You can buy a Scar for cheaper than you can buy an MCX Spear, which is outrageous. You can buy 4 SFARs from Ruger that are all chambered in 308 for less than this. You can buy an H&K MR762 for less than a Sig MCX Spear. That's just outrageous, and I'm pretty sure the price is as high as it is. One, because it's new, and then two, because it is the new service rifle. It is the hype. Don't kid yourself. Is this $4,200 worth? I'd be lying to you if I told you it was, but it's cool enough that it warrants $4,300. And everywhere I've seen, unless it's the SBR model that you have to wait on, this thing's practically sold out. So that's the power of influence when it comes to American small arms, right? So going from front to back, all the things that I've done to improve this, in my opinion. First and foremost, we had to get rid of the flash hider. The flash hider is really cool. It's what comes on the military model, but it made the gun outrageously thumpy for what it was. And when I had the AAC miter flash hider on my Scar, it was the same thing, right? It just made it really thumpy, pretty unpleasant to shoot. So for this one, it didn't come obviously with the equivalent of the PWS FSC 30 that the Scar came with. This one we had to get the original flash hider off, which depending on who I talked to, was either really easy or really difficult. For me, it was almost impossible, and I almost stripped all of these wrench flats trying to get that shit off. So I'll just scoot a little closer. Here we go. Yes, check this bad boy out. So this is the Sig SLX muzzle brake. It's a 2-chamber brake. There's no compensating ports or anything at the top. But it does the taper stuff and all that other things, and it works for the Sig SLX suppressor. So it's really cool. So if you have the normal SLX suppressor, it'll work just as fine. The way they did the timing for all this, I think, was the most phenomenal idea. So you screw on this front part or this back part just as normal, Loctite, do whatever you gotta do, rock set. It comes with some rock set if you really want to do that again. I chose not to because I don't really want to struggle with that crap again. So just a little Loctite under there for me, so that way we can still take it off with heat. But this front part here goes on first, properly torqued, and then if you guys can see there, in between there is actually a crush washer, kind of like your AR-15 muzzle devices. And then this front part here, the front and the sides essentially are wrench flats. And the way you do this is you spin this on and you time this using the crush washer portion of this going into the brake. So that's really cool, and you can get almost full rotation out of it. So this thing is on there. Don't kid yourself. And this muzzle brake is actually pretty effective at what it does. Just shooting it at the range with the muzzle brake, it's dramatically louder. Don't kid yourself. It is a muzzle brake after all, but it does cut the recoil down quite a lot. So pretty cool. I used to have a Sig, or not a Sig, a Surefire Streamlight or a Surefire Scout Light Pro, 640 DF, I think is the model number. And it would have the rotating mount. I thought that was cool too, but we just went back to an Enforce light. One, because I was already mounting a pressure pad on this side, so it kind of, defeats the purpose of having it all in one unit like this. And I found out if you just put it on one of these little Sig Tread M-Lock mounts, these are actually smaller because they were meant to fit on top of the M400 tread. You can actually sink this into your handguard pretty low. Look at that, huh? Yep. So yeah, cheap light on a really expensive gun. It is what it is. I don't care because it's mine. Iron sights. I still run one at the front. This is the Sig Tread iron sight. The whole barrel flex issue, I don't know. It's not really a thing. But when's the last time you actually used your iron sights on a flat top gun anyways, right? At least I haven't. I don't, because I have these. And I paid a lot more money for this, so why would I do that? So let's call that an aesthetic thing. It's cool. I don't know. Whatever. For grips, I used to run Slate Black Industries grips. They were all kind of pains in the ass because it has a little M-Lock mount on it, but it was also kind of finicky to get on and off, and the little screws were metric, so they were just kind of weird. So these are what we just got in. These are made by B5 Systems, the same maker as the Mod stock. And they're rubberized, they're M-Lock, and they're kind of vertical, so it matches the aesthetic of everything else. But they're very, very nice, very grippy, and they work out very well. For a sling, you might be wondering why I'm not using the little holes here, or the built-in sling mounts. One, my hand is there, so that wouldn't work very well. But two, I just like having the sling mount, or the sling, a little closer to my body, I guess, if you will. So Magpul RSA QD on the top, just a normal push-button QD to a Blue Force Gear padded multicam sling, because it's so cool and tactical, right? I've had to replace both these bolts. Both of them already stripped on me. I already called up Sig. Sig doesn't have any. Mainly, I'm pretty sure it's because they're producing these guns faster than they can sell them. But two, these are kind of just, I don't know. Maybe they'll come up with a small parts purchasing thing sooner or later, but don't count on it. So it is an 8/32 by 1/4 or 1/4. However you want to do it screw. It's a pan head. These are Allen. I'm trying to find the Torx ones, but apparently the ones that came with the gun are Torx Plus, which are not Torx. So for those of you that need to torque stuff down and go get yourself an actual like Torx Plus one, I guess that one works better. I don't know, but yeah. So you might have to replace it. I did, like I said, both sides. The side charging, it's still cool, and it still works great. I still like it. I've actually used that more than I've used the rear charging handle. So yeah, it's pretty cool. All the controls work just fine now. Broken in quite nicely. This the PDQ style lever. It's kind of cool. Now that I've gotten to use it, I will say this is okay. I would prefer if they did it kind of how an LWRC does it. When I had my M6 IC enhanced, that one had like a normal, I don't know what you would call it, bolt release, where you could still press down on the bottom part, lock all your shit back. I mean, you can do the same thing with this, but it is what it is. It's cool. It's cool. At least they give you it. So yeah, I like it. Not bad. Optic choice. So this is a Badger comm mount with the Badger stuff. And yes, I run a Vortex Viper PST 1-6 Gen 2. Why don't I buy more expensive stuff? Because I don't need to, one. And yeah, this is fine enough. I don't give a shit, right? I don't need it. Why do I need to spend $2,000 on a scope that a $600 scope will work? And if you guys actually work for your money. I'm not a freaking, gun tuber or nothing. I don't get shit for free. I have to buy all this stuff. So if you had to spend $600 of your own money on stuff, yeah, you wouldn't care either. Plus, the real reason why I bought this Badger mount is because it's 1.7 inches. Every other mount on planet Earth seems to be the standard 1.5, and I want a lower 1/3 co-witness. Yeah, that's what we did. If you don't like it, too bad. You're more than welcome to send me money, and then I can buy whatever shit you guys want me to buy. But until then, this is what you're gonna have to deal with. So yeah, cool. Otherwise, the mount works great. Badger mounts compared to the Geissele Super Precision or the Reptilia AUS. I'll be honest with you, I don't have any experience with any of the other two mounts. I'm sure they're just as good, and I'm sure they are. They're like $300 a piece. I will say, knowing what I know now, Badger stuff is only really compatible with Badger stuff. It seems like Reptilia and Geissele at least are kind of cross compatible, which is cool. But with that being said, yeah, Badger has a lot of like affordable stuff too, that kind of work all together. So that's not the end of the world. Yeah, so check that out, huh? Simple crosshair. Whoops, let's see. Also, I wanted this because it gives you an actual daylight bright center dot. And on top, there you go, backup optics. It's funny. I'd probably talk about height overboard for the Holosun 508T right now, but it seems like every optic in America nowadays is getting higher and higher and higher. So yeah, this is normal now. So we're good. We're good. Magazines. So PMags are okay. These Lancer magazines are better. And if you have the FD translucent ones like the one I just bought here, yeah, that looks about correct, don't it? Very nice. Besides that, the other two magazines that I have been running are, of course, the PMags. I haven't had any of the over insertion issues. It's not really that big of a deal. Just don't try and kill your PMag shoving it in there. I don't understand people that do that, but here's a clear one. Clear is kind of cool. All right, there you go. Now you can see all your bullets. Pretty nifty. And then, of course, the other one that I've been running the whole time is these black smoke Lancers. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's pretty hard to beat the Lancer magazine in this. I tried an ASC mag, and that thing's going in the garbage because that thing's a piece of shit. But yeah. So moving on, I guess. Just lost my train of thought there. The MCX Spear will take normal standard AR-15 triggers. This here is not the one that came with it. This is a Trigger Tech competition trigger for the AR. Oops, hang on. We're doing this all live, so it's kind of awkward. There we go. So, as you guys can see there, that's a cassette, because that is a Trigger Tech trigger, right? And on top of that, as you can see, this doesn't have the little hook or whatever you want to call it that the normal MCX trigger has to have in order to function, because I found out if you just remove the firing pin latch off the bolt carrier, one, there's no actual functional difference between the one or the other. I'm sure that's just a safety measure that they put in for the hell of it. But two, maybe that was a military requirement. Fair enough. But two, if you take it all out, it's super simple. It's one roll pin. The whole assembly falls apart. It's like one roll pin. Actually, it's 2 pins, the latch, and a spring. Super easy to take apart. But the cool part about it is now you can use all these different triggers because come on, dang it! I just had to close it all up again. All right, last time I did this, shot across the room. There we go. All right. So the cool part about this is once you remove all that stuff, essentially the top of the bolt carrier just resembles the back of a normal AR-15 bolt carrier, and as long as your hammer can get through that slot, you're good to go. Yeah, that'll work just fine. That'll work just fine. So yeah, feel free to take out your snap string there. Like I said, like you see there, I took mine out. Like I said, super fast. Maybe it didn't even really take more than like 2.5 minutes worth of effort, really. And now you can use all standard AR-15 triggers, to the best of my knowledge. I'm sure there's some kind of weird, goofy ones out there. I can't guarantee that those will work, but I'm pretty sure as long as they work, they will work. Yeah. I'm still running the standard Sig grip, which is the vertical kind. I've tried other ones. I've tried the Ergo, I've tried mag poles. I don't know why. This one just, it's not that it feels right. It feels just fine. But I guess aesthetically, for what the XM7 is, it's the correct one for the XM7. All right. Now that I've gotten about 2 months worth of doing this nonsense, it's a little bit easier now for me to fold the stock. But at first, it was almost, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's pretty difficult to push this latch down and get this all to fold. But it's cool. It seems like, at least online, this back part is compatible with all the standard MCX stocks. So especially like the colossal MP5 looking one, this will work. So that's pretty cool. The Mo SLK. Now this is a fun point of contention for everybody because it's too small, and people don't understand why they put a Mo SL stock on here. I don't know either. I will admit this is a pretty small stock. I haven't shot this with other stocks, such as, like, I've got plenty of them. I just haven't really cared to put them on, because this whole XM7 thing is just a whole vibe by itself. Just gotta, I think gotta shoot it the way it is. At least that's how I do it. But with the flash hider, this was almost too small, to the point where it almost left like a bruise in my shoulder, because of how little surface area the Mo SLK or the Mo SLM has. And then on top of that, how thumpy the gun was. But with the muzzle brake, this is just fine. It's still kind of small, so if you want to replace this, you can. But I haven't had the need to, so yeah. I guess now that we're done talking about it, let's talk about accuracy and performance. So I've hand loaded everything. For my 168 grain Sierra Match Kings, I've got this down to 1 MOA. But for normal 150 grain ball, that's kind of, averagely loaded. I'll get 2 inches out of here, which, 2 inches out of an MCX doesn't sound that phenomenal. But again, this was built for a military specification, and if you guys have been in the military half a day, most of these, a good bit of these soldiers can't shoot anyways, and then 2 MOA is a lot better than some of them can shoot on a normal day. So, I take it for what it is. Hey, this will hit a target at whatever range I wanted to hit it at, and based on what I've seen people talk about online, it shoots just fine out to 800. So pretty cool. Yeah. Now, will the M7 truly ever replace the M4 in my heart of hearts. No. I think it's a great, like, either this is a great supplement for that, or that's a great supplement for this. I just think it's really hard to beat a solid M4. This whole get up with the ACOG and everything only weighs like 7 pounds, 8 pounds. It's light recoiling, you know, just perfect. And you know, a lot of us have used one, and I don't know. This is just a classic, right? M4 is just a classic. So what I recommend, I'd recommend you get both. Get one of these, get one of those. Learn how to use them, play with them, do whatever you got to do. Yeah, enough of this, right? Just throw it on the ground. We're not talking about you today. We're talking about you. After 2 months, she's still kind of chonky, but you know what? You know, I've done some drills, done some other stuff. This gun shoots. This gun is a shooter. I had an opportunity at a SIG range day, or one of the demo days, at one of the local ranges near me, and they had a 13-inch spear with the SLX suppressor, and I'll tell you, man, I've never shot anything so light recoiling in my life, and I'm pretty sure that was in 308 too, not the new 277 Sig Fury caliber. So I can only imagine how soft it shoots with a 277 Sig Fury, or even a 6.5 Creedmoor. Speaking of which, I am excited to see that barrel come on, because once it does, I'm getting me a 6.5 Creedmoor barrel. Probably, you know, leaving this 308 barrel the way it is, but that 6.5 Creedmoor, I'm probably going to buy it, and I'm going to chop it down as small as this muzzle brake will allow me to chop it down. Why, you ask? Because I'm not ready to SBR it yet, silly, and I want a 16-inch gun that's small. That's just how it is. But you're sacrificing velocity. That's okay, because very rarely do I shoot outside of like 250 yards anyways. So, you know what? It is what it is. But yeah, we're going to keep shooting it, keep having fun with it. I'm having a blast with this gun. But if you guys have a chance, totally buy a Sig MCX Spear. You won't regret it. You got any questions or anything like that, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the other fun stuff. But it's fun getting you guys content, and thank you for all the subscribers that have subscribed. I'm trying to reach 1,000. I'd never reached 1,000 subscribers before in my life, so if I do, that's really cool. And if we do that, we might go through a tour of like all the guns that I have. Or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But see you guys later. Let me know if you got any questions. Bye.